All right. How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to the podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. In today's topic, I wanted to point out to me some problems that I've been seeing with apologetics, with TikTok, and after I talk about that, I wanted to just let you guys know on my plans for my life, just talk about what I want to do in life, because I realize, part of me as a channel, I really have never stated my goal as a channel or podcast, so that's what I wanted to do. All right, now let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the problem with apologetics right now, and I'm not talking about all apologetics. What I'm mainly talking about right now is Catholic apologetics, which is what I'm going to talk about right now, is the fact that I feel like a lot of Catholic apologists who are on TikTok, Catholic apologists in general, obviously we have the big heavy hitters like Trent Horn, Joan Heschmeyer, Catholic Answer staff, and whatnot. Yeah. But I noticed what I've been seeing a lot on TikTok is just Catholic apologists who don't really represent Christ really well or bring up very weak arguments. I've seen a lot of Catholic apologists get angry, call their people names, and I get debates are exciting, but we need to remember. Wow, that was a bad voice crack. We need to remember what our goal is when we're debating. Okay? The goal for our debates are to not persuade the other person. Sometimes it can be to persuade the other person, but most of the time that's not going to be what you're doing. The main objective of an apologist is to persuade the other people who are watching the debate and show that, okay, I won this part of the debate with logic and reason, and that's why you guys should listen to me. That's why you guys should listen to my side of this. So in our case, for Catholics, the reason that we would be debating and doing apologetics would be to change the mind of other people around who are listening to that. And I wanted to mention, part of our duty as Christians is evangelization, but you can't really have evangelization without apologetics. When you're evangelizing, not everyone's gonna just be able to immediately listen to what you say. They're gonna, how do you know God's real? How do you know God cares about us? How do you know Jesus was real? How am I supposed to know that the Catholic Church is the one true church? And then you explaining that to them and defending it would be apologetics. And a lot of the problem that I see on TikTok right now is people not bearing fruits of the Spirit. I see a lot of people being rude to each other, just presenting weak arguments, not really focusing on what the core idea of it is. And another thing, the problem I see with apologetics, I don't even know if you could call them apologists, but is this whole submit to Rome thing. Obviously, yes, I believe that, the Catholic Church is the one true church and the one authority. Yeah, that's what I believe, right? But I can only imagine how fatiguing it would be if you're a Protestant or another denomination of Christianity, because a lot of people, that's what they're born into. I wasn't really born into Catholicism. I converted later on, but my mom was Catholic her whole life, and basically I was raised on Catholic values, and I went to Catholic church. I just hadn't gotten baptized until later, but that's besides the point. What was I saying? Yeah, a lot of people are born into their denomination, and I can only imagine how fatiguing that is to hear submit to Rome, you're anathema. I feel like it's so counterproductive of what we're trying to do as apologists and evangelists, because like I said, a part of evangelization is apologetics, and I don't feel like it's productive at all to be telling people that. It doesn't make sense. And it's not a strong argument. Part of our job as apologists is using logic, reason, evidence. There is no evidence, no logic, and no reason being used when you say submit to Rome or you're anathema to other people. And it's committing a logical fallacy. It's committing the logical fallacy of appeal to authority. Yes, I do believe that the Catholic Church is the one true church and whatnot, but how does telling someone to submit to Rome, that's the appeal to authority fallacy, because what you're doing is saying you should listen to this because the Catholic Church says so. That's appeal to authority, and it's a fallacy, and it's not using any logic or reason. You're not backing up why the Catholic Church has authority. You're not giving reasons why. You're not using scripture references as to why there is structure in the church and how the apostles left us that structure, how we can see it in scripture, church history, not even like none of that. All we're doing is just saying, submit to Rome, you're anathema, this and that. And honestly, I don't know. I don't really like it. And I just think that it's counterproductive in many ways. And I can see, and I can completely understand how that would be extremely fatiguing if you're a Protestant or you're any other denomination. And I like, if I was constantly hearing that, I wouldn't want to listen to them. It's like when I see, a good comparison would be like when people say, you guys pray to Mary. At that point, like when I hear that objection to the church, I don't even respond to it anymore, because this has been like the most debated topic about Catholicism. We've given our best arguments for it. We've shown scripture references. It's closed-mindedness is what it is. And I don't think it's worth it to even respond to that. I feel like there's bigger problems. I feel like that's a secondary problem. How I personally rank these problems scripturally or Christianity wise, I rank it like, this is a problem. Like, your guys are like, okay, denying. At the top, I would put it denying Christ, denying the Eucharist are like the big ones. Mid tier would be like not appealing to church authority, and then like the low tier like would be that one. Yeah, the low tier would be like, you guys pray to Mary. Those kind of problems I feel like are on a lower tier on the problem list within the church or within Christians. But yeah, like us as Catholics, we need to present good evidence. We need to be good at apologetics. We need to be able to defend our faith, and I don't see how saying submit to Rome and you're anathema is that at all. So I don't know. I don't find it productive at all. And another problem I was seeing within the apologetics, I notice this isn't really a problem on YouTube. I really never see bad apologetics videos on YouTube. I don't know, maybe I'm just not on YouTube enough. It's something I usually see on... I always see it on I always see it on TikTok, right? And here's my theory as to why this happens. I think that it's easier to post a 90-second TikTok clip, so people aren't giving their best reason. People aren't doing any of that. That's my theory, maybe, as to why that happens. Yeah, but it's really a problem I only see on TikTok. It's something... It's frustrating to see as a Catholic. But I'd say... I also see this from Protestants, obviously. I see that just like... Taco Talks. I remember when Pope Francis died, this guy literally posted a video like celebrating that Pope Francis died. Like, that is the most disrespectful thing ever. I mean, he has this kind of hatred towards Catholics. I don't know. There's that one Patrick dude. I don't know his channel name. I just know his name is Patrick. Also terrible videos. Like, they will just... I just find it, like, me personally, I just find it so disrespectful to intentionally say something wrong about another person's church. Like, that's not true. Or just being too lazy to do the research. If you're too lazy to do the research, then you shouldn't be an apologist. But yeah, I mean, if you're just too lazy to do the research, then maybe you shouldn't be an apologist. You shouldn't be making TikTok videos. You shouldn't be doing this and doing that like them. Or I think they'll just do it intentionally. They'll know, like, everyone... Like, what's a good example that I've seen of people saying something so false about Catholicism? Obviously, the worship Mary. Here's the thing. There's some people that say that Catholics worship Mary. I'm going to put this away. I keep fidgeting with it too much. There's some people that say that we worship Mary because they think that they've already heard the intercession argument. And they still think that is worship. They still think that intercession is worship and hyperdulia is worship. And then there are people who haven't even heard that. And they'll just flat out they'll act like it's in the catechism. They'll say, oh yeah, Catholics worship Mary. I've seen it happen way too many times. I don't know. It's just frustrating to see because, right, like, I love our church, and think about it like this, like, this is something that we dedicate our lives to as Catholics. This is something like we put our lives to. This is something we care about. This is something that means the world to us. Like, I dedicate my life to this because I truly believe that it'll take me to heaven. So disrespecting that, I would consider the same as when an atheist will disrespect Christianity or mock Christianity. That's how I find it whenever someone will intentionally lie or lie on accident. That's how I see it. I just don't think it's cool. And it's a problem I see on TikTok right now. And here's the thing. Me, myself, and I'll be the first to admit this, I'm not that smart. I don't know that much about Catholicism. But what I do know is that before I make a video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to research that. I'm going to research the topic. Okay? I'm going to learn about the topic. I'm going to do a lot of things to actually know what I'm talking about, and to make sure that I don't commit an error in theology. Like, I will fact check everything I say in a video. If, like, I've said things wrong in videos, and then I've had to scrap the video and then run it back. That's what I'll do, because I know, number one, I don't want to be a heretic, and number two, I don't want to say anything wrong about another person's theology, or just something wrong about theology in general. And that's what people need to understand. I'm not saying that, hey, apologetics aren't for everyone. I think that every Christian, regardless of denomination, should be should not like be like apologists, like work for Catholic Answers, but be ready. If someone tests your faith, you're like, hey, I'm ready to defend my faith right now. I'm ready to defend my faith, and I'm ready to explain it to other people while evangelizing. That's why I think that everyone should have an apologist side to them. Now, yeah, like, it's frustrating to see, but I think that it'll get better, because we know, like, Christianity right now is a very popular topic, and a lot of people are jumping to the faith right now, and they're excited, and that's great. I'm super happy that people are excited. But I think that once, like, Christianity becomes more norm, less trendy, which I like, obviously I want Christianity to be popular. Like, don't get me wrong, I want it to be trendy. I want it to be, you know what I mean? But I think that once it becomes like less of a trend, still popular, but less of a trend, I think that then, oh my goodness, that was so... Once it becomes less trendy, but still becomes popular, like, it's still popular, but it's just not as trendy. It's not a trend to wear a cross. You know what I mean? People are more serious about their faith. I think once that happens, I think we'll see less of that. I accidentally muted myself. How far did I mute? I don't know. It's fine. But I think that once people are more into their faith like that, and it's less trendy to wear the cross, you know what I mean? That we'll see less of that, and people will start taking apologetics more seriously, because it's super fun debating. Like, yeah, it's fun. We have a goal when we do it, but also we do it because we like it. We enjoy defending our faith. We enjoy debates. Debates are awesome. If you watch, like, high-level debaters who know what they're doing, know what they're talking about, who aren't just bashing each other. Like, if you see a real high-level debate, like if you watch Joe Hashmeyer debate Trent Horn, dude, it's awesome to see. It's awesome, yeah. But I think we should all just remember to remember who we're representing when we debate. Remember that you're representing your church, and you're also representing Jesus Christ. And also, yeah, I think that everyone, if you're going to make videos on Christianity, just make sure that you fact check your things. Make sure you know what you're talking about, obviously. But yeah, I don't think it's too big of a deal, but it just gets frustrating to see when you'll see the same argument that's been debunked since the Council of Nicaea. I'll see Nestorianism in a comment section, and I'll just be like, I'll see someone say Mary is not the mother of God. And at that point, like, I don't even respond. Like, at that point, There's just some argument. You got to pick and choose your arguments, guys. Just pick and choose your arguments. It'll be okay. Now, on to what I want to do in life. I want to tell you guys just my goal for the channel. My end goal for this channel, I don't know how realistic it is, but this would probably have to be like after I graduate from college, after I have like a degree in theology and philosophy or something. I would love to be an apologist for Catholic Answers. I think that would be cool. That's one of the routes I would like to take for this channel. Or just have more subscribers, reach a bigger audience. But I was telling my mom, like, even if, and she told me this, so I don't get down, like, I definitely don't get down if I don't get, like, as many views as I wanted to. No, I really don't mind. It, like, even if I get 10 views on a video, if 3 people really enjoyed the video, if 3 people got something out of it, I did my job, and I'm glad that people got things out of it. I help someone. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be 1 million views. I don't have to have 1 million subscribers, but as long as I help some people, because I think about it, like, imagine how many days the apostles would have to walk. Like, imagine how many days Paul would have to walk to find people. Imagine how many people would take for him to evangelize in one day. Imagine how tired he would be walking the whole day. Probably not that many people. And definitely not that many people. Like, I bet I've reached more people than Paul probably did in his lifetime. Like, hold on, that sounds really bad. Let me explain what I meant. Like, I've gotten like 3,000 views on the channel. I don't think that Paul probably didn't evangelize with 3,000 people. Maybe he did. Probably did. But you know what I mean? Like, we have such a great tool where we can reach so many more people, and way easier than it was for like the apostles. And they obviously managed to find a way to get Christianity all over the world. So that would be one route. Definitely, like, the Catholic Answers, that would be awesome. And it goes along with what I want to do in college. In college, I want to go to a Catholic university. Near me, like, the college I would like to go to would be like DePaul. But I don't know. I heard that like DePaul is a little secular. I don't know. Their mascot is a demon. I'm like, that doesn't really make sense for a Catholic school. But all right. Loyola looks awesome. The problem with these Catholic schools is that they're just so expensive. Like, Loyola is like more expensive than the U of I, which is right by where I live. There's a Dominican Order University. It's called the Dominican University. It's in like South Chicago. That one is a solid price. I would definitely like to go there. It looks pretty nice. Maybe somewhere in St. Louis. I don't really know. But yeah, that's the main thing I would want to do in life. Study philosophy, theology, Roman Catholicism. Or instead of that, maybe do what I want to do as a profession and then go to a seminary. I don't know. Another thing I've thought about a lot is entering the priesthood. My grandma, who lives in Mexico, she is like 94 years old, and she was telling me she's like the most Catholic woman you'll ever meet. She's so Catholic. And she was telling me, she was like, she telling me in Spanish, she's like, this is something that you're going to have to figure out soon. And I was like, whoa, like, I felt a lot of pressure on me in that moment. What else? Yeah, becoming a priest, entering the priesthood would be awesome. Leading my own parish. And I would probably still be able to podcast with that. I obviously wouldn't be like a full-time, probably not. But it'd be cool to be like a priest for a university too. That would be awesome. A university priest would be great. But I don't think that you can choose like that. I'm pretty sure it's just where the bishops send useless priests to go to universities or whatever. That's kind of just where their luck landed. Another thing I would like to do is become a lawyer in the future. I like debating. I like that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think being a lawyer would be super cool. Super cool to. I think it would help a lot with apologetics. Like I know Joe Heschmeyer has a degree in law, and he that's like kind of his apologist style. It's kind of like a lawyer. So, I think that's cool. You can definitely see the lawyer in him. What else? Yeah, those are probably the things that I want to do. Become a lawyer, enter the seminary to become a priest, or enter the seminary just to learn theology, become a better apologist, or go to a little Catholic university, join Catholic Cancer or something, or even become a professor. I don't know, but I know I want to be close to the church no matter what when I'm older. But yeah, that was the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See ya.